Welcome everyone to the Paranoid Palace. This is the fifth and final installment in the Hellworld Heists adventures. It's Reach Adventure number 9 for Traveler, Mongoose 2nd edition. And our story up to this point, we were hired by a woman named Lady Ada Weishart to do different tasks. The first was to rob a grav train, in which case our target was actually a person, someone named Director Skylark Tanlin. He was a director at GDCO, one of the megacorps, and she wanted us to try and kidnap this corporate asset, and we did. And once she had him in custody, she began to interrogate him. And meantime, she kind of told us a little bit more of her plan. She was seeking to overthrow the leadership of the Senlis Foederate. Senlis being a small federate of three worlds, Senlis, Magan, and Orsosh. And they controlled their population through water. They restricted water, or they drugged the water as a means to control the populace. And she wanted to put an end to that. And so after we had robbed the grav train, she sent us on a mission to refuel on the ice world of Magan. And once there, we got word that a rebel base was under attack, and we needed to go and see if we could save any of the people there, as well as destroy any information they had before it fell into the hands of the Senlis Foederate. And so we went to the Red Rock base and managed to rescue a good portion of the citizens and members of the rebellion there, as well as reclaiming that data and destroying it, any hard copies there, so that the Senlis Foederate couldn't get it. After that, we went to Orsosh. And in Orsosh, there was a convoy that we needed to try and stop. Now, Orsosh was the place where Lady Ada, that's where she called home, and we got to meet her mother and many of the other citizens there, and they were overjoyed to see us. And if we could kidnap or rescue the prisoner from this convoy, we would have information that would help us to really stick it to Senlis. And we set up an ambush and managed to carry out the assault and rescued the personnel that had valuable information on the Senlis station and how we might be able to get in there. And that was the next mission, was the station job. And there, Ada mentioned that we were going to change history, that we were to infiltrate Senlis Station, and once in, we would go to the GD Code data vault, and there we would insert basically a thumb drive, a pass key that would overwrite some of the data. What she wanted to do is she wanted to rewrite the contract between Senlis and GDCO. GDCO being responsible for a lot of the construction and overreach in the Foederate. She wanted to change that contract at GDCO, so that when part B of the contract came due, they would see, oh, hey, we're not supposed to be doing this. We need to make these changes. And so we broke into the station and managed to take care of that, to install that program into their software. Now, while we were there, we were contacted over the comms by Director Tanlin, who was a prisoner. I say prisoner, he was being very well treated. They had long conversations, and there was no animosity, it seemed, between them. But we had a conversation with him. He hacked into the communication, and what he said was kind of shocking. He said that our patron isn't some minor noble from a forgotten rock. Her name most certainly isn't Ada Weishart. She is Jisa Northgate, Princess of Senlis. Exiled, yes, but she is next in line to the throne. And every act of rebellion that she has stirred, every favor she's begged of us, all of it has been in service to her return to power. And then he said that she's been using us, and that's the truth. That we've done well, but now we were at the precipice. We could go on fighting for freedom and justice as pawns in her coronation, or we could join with GD Co. We could abandon the charade, walk away from the crusade, and in exchange, not only would we be pardoned, but we'd be set up with real careers, real authority, triple the pay. All he wanted to do is to have us report Ada's position to the managers there at Senlis Station, tell them the plan, and then we could walk away. And in that moment, we had a choice, and we chose to stay with the fight of the rebellion. And in doing so, Tanlin admitted that he was impressed, that we had the fortitude and the integrity to stick with the person that we had promised that we would work for. And so where we start this last session, when we meet up again with Lady Ada, she knows that the cat's out of the bag. And when you get back to the Aurora's Fortune, her flagship, the door seals behind you with a soft hydraulic hiss. Lady Ada Weishart stands at the central hollow table, hands clasped tightly behind her back. The blue projectors cast her features in cold light, features you now know belong to Princess Gisa Weishart. Or, excuse me, not Gisa Weishart. No, I can't think of Gisa Northgate. Blood sister to the Senlis Foederate's ruler. She inhales once, steadying herself. Let's not dance around this. You learned the truth on Senlis Station, didn't you? Yes, I am Gisa Northwood, sister to High Prince Eilor. I've spent half my life pretending to be someone else so my brother wouldn't have me quietly erased like every other threat he imagines lurks under his bed. She steps closer to the table, her fingers tracing the ghostly projection of the palace. My exile was not noble. It was fear, his fear of what I might become, and mine of what he had already become. And a bitter smile crosses her face. I thought that Lady Ada might have a better chance of fixing what Princess Gisa failed to stop. And she glances up at you, and the weight of the moment shifts. I don't know where I stand with you now, and I won't pretend I'm owed anything, loyalty, silence, or service. And there's a long pause. If you want to walk away, you may. I'll arrange transport, funds, and safe identities. My only request is that you do not denounce me. The Foederate does not need more blood on its hands. And she waits, open, vulnerable, but not defeated. She looks at Ellis. I cannot ask you to go any further unless it be of your own free will. Ellis, what is your conviction?
Well, we've already turned down an offer against you, and for good reason, I guess. So, what is it that you would have us do for you?
Well, I appreciate the fact that you are willing to stay true to the cause. Your loyalty speaks volumes. What of you, Captain? And she looks at Ulysses. I know you are in it for the pay. Will you work for me one more time?
Yes, Your Highness. Well, given that your royalty and, free will isn't cheap, I'm sure we could work out a favorable arrangement and see that whatever you need is done, granted that there's enough credits involved.
Yes, I would expect nothing else but that from you. And Chief, where do you stand? If you are still on the side of law, well, the existing law in Senlis is that of my brother. Or do you stand on the side of order, which I would bring back to the Foederate?
Well, you You say that very well, because I am, or was, a lawman, yes, but I myself have a ambition that I imagine, while not the same as yours, is something that is never not on my mind. I could imagine returning home would be desirable. I, well, you've got some wonderful people. I find myself deeply interested. I suppose I root for the underdogs.
Well, and underdogs we are. Make no mistake. Sir Dalamont, as one of noble birth, surely you recognize the need for nobility to serve the people. My brother does not. He serves his own needs. Would you not see me be his better?
It is the responsibility of us nobles to take care of common folk. And I've dedicated my life to it as a doctor. And while I don't think you're necessarily the perfect person, I think the people will be a lot better under your rule than the other options.
That is fair. She straightens her jacket and she taps the palace schematic on the hollow table. It zooms in to the keep. You deserve to know everything. The data heist isn't the entire plan. Not only do I wish us to get into the palace and change the Senlis side of the contract, it's about more. And she holds a small thumb drive in her hand, similar to the one that you used at the Senlis station to affect the GDCO side of the contract. Not only must we repeat what you've done before here in the palace, but it's never been about damaging my brother politically. And her voice hardens, becoming steel over velvet. I intend to reach the palace myself, to stand before my brother, to end this one way or another. His rule will not collapse from these changes alone. It must be cut out at the heart. It is a gamble, yes, but a calculated one. A strike at the center could end the Federate's nightmare in a single night. So tell me, how do you feel about infiltrating the palace, changing the contract, and helping me overthrow my brother? Are you with me?
Well, we've come this far.
Yeah. It'll be like being in the Marines again.
Oh, there will certainly be a call to brandish your weapon, Chief. I fear this will not be a bloodless coup. But I would keep the damage to a minimum. For many of the people that work for my brother, they simply do it out of loyalty to him. But would they not give that loyalty to me if I gave them a better way? And sorry, Ulysses, you meant to speak up.
Yes, before we get too far, perhaps we should discuss payment.
I have paid you well up to this point, and here at the end of all things, I will pay you the greatest sum that I can afford. 500,000 credits to each of you if you see me back on the throne and my brother overthrown. 500,000 credits. You could buy your way to anywhere in the charted universe if you desire. Think of all the good that you could do with that, Sir Dalamont. Think of all the rights that you could wrong, Chief. Ellis, think of all the promises that you have made that could be kept with this money. And Ulysses, you'll get your own ship one day. This will help put you on the path towards that.
Well, that sounds like a reasonable amount to me. I think that we could move forward with that.
I agree. I think I'm ready to help you out.
You're not going to try to get more money out of me this time, Ulysses?
No, I think that that's a fair deal right there. I think I'll help you out this time. I'll cut you some slack.
Well, let me tell you what we're up against. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about the palace. And she pulls up a map on the holodeck. Let me show you this map. I've called in some favors. We need to get to the palace, at the center of the Great Lake. It's a toxic, brackish body of water. There are 9 artificial canals. From these branch a dense, smoggy metropolis, with grav cars flitting between skyscrapers tall enough to block out the sun. Life on Senlis means the city, sprawling, dark, and uncaring. The culture here is martial, a city designed for defense and control rather than freedom and trade. The closer one is to water, the higher one's status, and the nicer the neighborhoods, but always it is dystopically urban. Each canal is controlled by a duke who oversees which mood chemicals their districts use. The citizens think the system makes them resilient, but in dry, dark corners of the forgotten slums, the city takes its toll. Then there are those allergic to the drugs and who cannot be controlled. They are buried in poverty and drought. The air on Senlis is smoggy, toxic, and reeking. The CO2 concentration is above 32%. You'll need a filter mask. It's enough to quickly cause convulsions and death if you're not properly filtered. Originally, the colonists envisioned a garden world, bombarding the planet with icy asteroids, then planting verdant forests, but things never got that far. Today, what little life is here is the result of failed experiments, horrid biting insects breeding among gnarled moss, while half-starved bat-like things swarm through the trash. I can't get the Aurora planet side. It's too noticeable, too big. But I've called in favors to set up a safe house in the outer reaches. It's a bare-bones affair in the basement of an abandoned scrapyard where rebels operate an illegal water purification system. Your ship could sneak in and get you into that safe house. However, you would be best to land in the wastelands and either walk or drive into Senlis. I'll need 2 weeks planet-side to make preparations, enough to ensure that I have the support of certain key people. During this 2 weeks, I'd like you to make your plan and prepare. There will be a rebel infiltration of the water purifiers to turn off the drugs, so that, come the time, people will be able to decide for themselves who should lead them. I just need you to help me get the throne back. She will give you a handout. Let me make it visible and then I'll post it. So this is your information about the Steelheart Palace. We've come a long way from luxury hotels, haven't we? This final job is an assault on the Steelheart Palace. She hands you this data sheet. I want you to smuggle me into the palace so I can confront my brother and claim the crown that he has wasted. Revenge can wait, though. First, we have to make things right. And she hands the data stick to Sir Dalamont. This is the Federate half of the contract data. I need you to get access to the secure servers on the palace's governmental level and insert this data stick. It will do the rest. Once done, Senlis will have no recourse when GD code demands its due. And as a bonus, it will restore my biometrics to the security system, letting us take the VIP elevator up to my brother's private floors, where we can deal with him once and for all. Looking at the information on the datasheet, you can see that Steelheart Palace is the heart of the High Prince's power. It's an imposing symbol built over a downed Sindal artillery bombardment ship. And the Sindal, that was, perhaps thousands of years ago in the history of this section of the Trojan Reach. And so an ancient alien craft crashed here, and the palace has been built up on the remains of that. There are enough turrets built into the facade of the palace to dissuade any direct threat, but getting inside should be relatively easy. People come and go at all hours, conducting the business of government. The lower floors are dedicated to this, while the upper floors are the private domain of the High Prince. Civilian access to the island is by gravboat ferry to piers around the island, and unrecognized vehicles are warned and then fired upon. Once off your boat, petitioners are scanned and have their IDs checked. There's another checkpoint at each entrance. Staff and VIPs must submit to a biometric scan that checks their DNA. I'll leave it to you to make your plans. If you need anything from me within reason, I will see that Ingabel, my assistant, does what she can to help you out. But you may be required to find what you need here in Sindal. There is a black market. Perhaps I can get you an invitation to speak with some of the vendors there. Do you have any questions for me?
Is that 500,000 in cash or check?
It will be in cash if you like, or I can transfer it directly to your account. So what you'll need to do, you'll need to come up with a plan to get whatever equipment that you might need, a plan to get into the palace, a plan to get into the server room to insert the data stick, and then a plan to deal with the High Prince. You have about 2 weeks to make these plans, and we can do kind of like we did with the Darkwater convoy. You can do we'll do like a little montage and maybe act out a few scenes where you're either doing a dry run or making preparations or interacting with people looking for gear. So I'll let you speak amongst yourselves and come up with the plan.
Well, armor would be good.
Yeah, in general. Although, might be a little suspicious if a bunch of people walk around over there wearing a bunch of armor.
Yes, indeed.
Trying to get in.
That will red flag you with security right away. Even a vac suit would likely draw too much attention once you're in the palace. Now, what
Perhaps.
you could wear for armor, you could wear cloth armor, or like a flak jacket. Cloth armor is probably going to be better. Cloth armor gives you 8 points of damage protection, and it looks essentially like regular clothes. Like you'd be hard pressed if someone came and patted you down. They might say, "Oh, geez, this is cloth armor. Why are you wearing this?" But just at a visual inspection, they wouldn't be able to tell. There's a couple.
Well,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, we might be able to get in wearing armor. We could try and convince the security staff that the prince hired some extra security, and that's why we're there.
Well, This data says something about biometric checkpoints, so I don't imagine any kind of getting there would be possible without identifying ourselves.
So,
Well, yeah, of course we could say that we haven't been entered into the system yet. Maybe we could convince someone to put us into the system.
So if you want to do that, there's a couple ways you could do it. You could try and bribe your way in through someone who could then put your information in the computer, or you could try to hack your way in. I think we did that in the Grav Train robbery. I think we changed the roster. That's much less secure than security for the High Prince. That would be much more difficult to hack that information. But you could also try and bribe someone or try and bluff someone. But again, that may be a little difficult. But that's definitely an option to get in.
I wonder if they're having any events or anything like that at the Palace that we could get on the invite list for.
Give me yes. In fact, I'm going to have you give me a roll for this, Sir Dalamont. Give me a diplomat roll. Just got it. You needed an 8, and you got an 8. As you begin to go through the information, looking at maybe the upcoming event schedules, you would think of that. Maybe he's going to have a ball or things like that, and you see that in. Let me see if I can find the information. There is an event coming up. Where is it? Sorry, 1 second. Oh, there's an upcoming Victory Memorial. It takes place in 1 month. So not just 2 weeks, but you'd need to pass an extra 2 weeks in town. 1 month after you land, during this holiday, the High Prince, his head of staff, and a hand-picked duke will broadcast a speech from the throne room. Security is tighter during the memorial, but you could infiltrate perhaps the news crew that's broadcasting it, or the small crowd that's approved to watch, or maybe impersonate some dignitaries or allies that are coming in.
Could work a little bit better too for moving around if there are a lot of people to keep track of.
I'm not very good at bluffing.
Let me have Ulysses give me a recon roll. Nice, just got it. Based on the information that you've heard about that crashed Sindalian artillery bombardment ship, this was a huge ship. Think like Star Wars, like a Star Destroyer, that crashed here, and that the ruins of that are still beneath the palace. If the palace is built on those ruins, it's very likely there's an access underwater to get into the palace. But then you have to come up with an idea of how we infiltrate underwater to get there. But that's another. If you want to sneak in, that's an option.
And just remind me, what's our ultimate goal here?
2 things. You want to get the data stick and insert it into the computers in the server room, which is on the lower level of the palace. That will change the contract with the Senlis Foederate, so then both GDCO and Senlis will have the altered contract. And then you want to go to the upper level of the palace and take care of the High Prince.
Do we want to do it in 2 teams, or do we want to stay together the whole time?
Well, staying together will be harder to be subtle, but if there's any kind of, again, I'm not very good at bluffing. If any cover gets blown, we're going to be surrounded almost instantly, so...
It would be hard to. Well, would that security stick throw any like red flags or like hacking stick once we put it in?
It is likely that since that happened with GDCO, it seems like they were alerted when that was inserted into the computer that may happen as well here. Surely the door to the server room will be locked. Bypassing that is probably the most likely way to alert security that someone has broken into the servers. But if you can get in and just insert the stick, it should take. Lady Ada assures you it will be 30 seconds. But she said that last time and it was like 15 minutes. But she says that those kinks have been worked out. This should be relatively quick.
And from the room where we need to plug in this security drive, would we also be able to access like security systems or sensors throughout the palace?
More than likely, yes.
Because it's possible that I might be able to shut some of those down. I'm fairly decent when it comes to electronics and sensors.
Chief, give me a tactics roll. Oh, nice. One thing to consider is that as far as weapons go, weaponry, there are stun weapons, stun sticks or stunners that you can use to incapacitate security personnel. Rather than making this a bloody coup, maybe you can try to avoid unnecessary death. But you are all prepared that this may go sideways and some people may have to die. But you're mindful of the fact that, winning over the hearts and minds of the people, it's much easier if you don't go in and just murder all of the people in the palace.
Well, I'm kind of thinking that, like Chief said, I'm not the greatest at bluffing or fitting in socially either. So perhaps Chief and I could make a team that goes in perhaps as some sort of maintenance crew, and we try and get to the security room and take care of the data stick, and we could try and shut down some of the systems and maybe allow Ellis and Delamont to take care of the prince.
I think...
I'm not much of a killer, but I can certainly...
Well, if you can smuggle Lady Ada in, she says she'll take care of her brother if she can. So she would go with whoever's going to the High Prince.
Yeah, we can try and make our way over to him.
So once we're already in the palace, is there like security throughout from the lower levels to the higher level rooms?
Lady Ada tells you that the palace will be secure. She would expect you would find at least one security personnel in each room of the palace. And if you get to the main security room, there's probably over a dozen. So it's relatively secure.
We're going to need a very good reason to be making our way there.
Yes, it doesn't seem possible to bluff our way in, really. Seems like
Yeah.
no matter about it, even if we do, we will be immediately shot in the back, so... Ugh.
And this underwater access, do we know, would we have some sort of vehicle that could get us down there, or how are we looking at our means of getting down to this access port?
Lady Ada tells you your best bet is the black market to find a submersible. Vac suits will protect you underwater, it'll let you breathe as well. You could walk from the shoreline over to the palace, but it may be difficult. But if you could get a small submersible vehicle, or even like some small single man underwater propulsion kits, you'd be able to make your way over there. But that's something you'd have to go through the black market. That would take some streetwise rolls, maybe a broker roll. Maybe you could go into a bar and do a carouse roll to try and get people on your side.
Well, and if we do end up down there with vac suits on, what do we know about the fauna of this planet? Is there any dangerous aquatic animals that might complicate things?
Lady Ada tells you that there are a lot of bugs on Senlis, a lot of insects, and there's some small creatures called Eriops. She says they're basically the size of a large rat, but these will be in the slums. She says, as far as the water, I've never been in the water. I can't tell you what's in there.
Would the ship computer know?
Yeah, you could check the ship's computer. Give me a roll for that. You could do. I kind of want to say sensors. Like if you're scanning the planet, give me a sensors roll. Excellent. And this chain bonus, this will carry over to any other scans you use like a sensors roll for, or anything else pertaining to like a recon roll or finding things out. You detect that there are a sort of bony fish that lives here in the lake, but they're relatively small, and they're a source of food for the poor people. They're basically trash fish, and the wealthy wouldn't eat them, so Lady Ada's never even heard of them. But these are things that the poor people in the slums would eat, and there are people here that could teach you how to fish for them, what they like to eat, how they catch them, things like that.
All right, and there's no large carnivorous fish that might be able to rip a hole in our submersible if we do go that route?
None that come up on your scans.
Well, sounds good enough for me.
Yeah, I think a submersible would be our best bet.
If you want to sneak in, that's going to be the easy way. That will present its own problems, but that may be easier than trying to bluff your way in. And again, if you want to split up, you could have some of you bluff your way in. You could use that event, that victory parade that's coming up in a month's time. That would be easy, I would assume, for Sir Dalamont to get access. But it may be difficult for anyone else. But if you want to do the underwater thing, we can kind of start making preparations for that. There is also... let me have Ellis give me a recon roll with a +2 bonus. I'll put that chain bonus onto this.
Oh.
No. Well, as you're reconning, you look at different blueprints of this, and you see that the upper level there's a huge dome, and there's like a garden area in there. So there's a glass, could be like a plexiglass dome, maybe not actual glass, but there's a clear dome, and that may be an access point is from the roof or from the dome, but you'd have to get over there somehow quietly. But that's an option, from below, from above, or sneak in.
Almont doesn't really want to use his identity necessarily to get in at all, just in case things go south.
Yeah.
Well, do we have any contacts that we could start looking into acquiring a submersible for getting into the palace?
Lady Ada has not come up with any names yet. She says she's still efforting. The personnel that she has arranged the safe house through are trying to make contacts with the criminal underworld, but so far have not met with any success. However, if you want to give me a streetwise roll, you can see what you can find for yourself. Nice. Yeah, you go into a small, seedy bar in the slums, and what they serve there is alcoholic drinks, but the bartender looks at you and he can tell that you've not been drinking the water, and he offers you, kind of on the sly, some filtered water. He says, this is clean stuff. There's no chemicals in this if you want to drink something well. And as you're speaking with him, he asks if you're here as part of the victory parade that's coming up in a month, or if you're here to join the ranks of the security force for the High Prince.
Well, I can't really say much about either of those things. I'm really just passing through looking to make some contacts.
Contacts for what?
Well, I like to know that, or I like to know people wherever I go, and I figure this might be a good place to meet some people that are good to know.
Good to know in a pinch, or good to know and don't let anyone else know? And he winks at you.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
He reaches down under the bar and takes out a small strip of cellulose paper, and he writes something on it in a pencil and slides it over to you and says, after you've read this, I need you to eat that. And it looks like this cellulose, it's some sort of maybe seaweed or kelp. It looks edible, but there's an address written on there.
Well, I will do my best to commit that to memory, and then I will eat this piece of seaweed.
Well, give me an intellect roll. And you can add a +2 bonus onto that. Nice. The address takes you to an abandoned warehouse, and the windows are all boarded up and shuttered. There's trash piled up all around the entrance, and it looks like this is uninhabited. As you start to look around, though, you can see that there is a small path that has been cleared around one of the side doors.
And before I head out here on my own, I would assume that I would get some of the others to come with me, as I'm not the best when it comes to dealing with some of these people, where I might struggle a little bit.
Yeah, who goes with Ulysses?
Chief would come along. Not really to talk to people, though, just to, support.
You're the muscle.
Yeah, kind of. Not that, you need it, but...
What about Ellis and Dalamont? Would you go, or would you do something else?
Yeah, I think you'd go. Got kind of nothing else going on at the moment.
What about you, Ellis?
I guess we'll all go then.
All right, it's a party. So Ulysses, you're up to this door. It looks like a path of trash has been cleared away from this door.
Well, did that bartender mention anything about anything in particular to get in here, or otherwise, I guess I'm just knocking.
No, he did. In fact, he told you. He said right after he gave you the information. He went over and there's an old like a jukebox system in this dive, and he told you like you might like this next song, and it was by an old Earth band called Captain and Tennille, and it was called Knock Three Times. And you would have recalled
Well, I guess
that.
that's exactly what I'll do then.
And as you rap on the door, there's a brief pause. You can hear something being moved around inside, the scraping of something heavy. And then the door opens up a crack, and you see a grimy face that blinks and squints at the bright light. Hey, what is it?
You want to handle this, Sir Delamont? You're a little better when it comes to talking to people.
Although this isn't my normal type of person, maybe.
This might be more like Chief.
Well, Chief has been undercover before, but, you know. What, I mean, because we would have talked about this. What's your goal for being here? What are we trying to achieve? Just like the black market?
Yeah.
I think we're trying to acquire a submersible.
Ah, yeah, that was it. Sorry, I had my mind on the stun guns.
They would also be able to provide that as well, if that's what you're after. This would be your contact for all the things that you need. So a broker role here would probably get you through the door.
I don't. Oh dear. Well, I don't know if anybody's even remotely talented in that, but they would be much better than Chief.
Delamont could do his thing, but it might come off a bit weird to this guy.
I didn't even know that was a skill.
Does anyone have training in broker? I thought someone did.
I've got a -2.
Yep.
The -2 might be our best bet.
Yeah, that beats.
You just need a 6.
Chief, want to make this roll? I guess we're about the same, but you probably look a little more intimidating.
I suppose, yeah, he has been undercover before, so I think Chief would just say, yeah, we're looking to make a few purchases. Here, you're the guy. Not really very hopeful for this, but...
You just need to beat a 6. You got it. Yeah, purchases. Well, why don't you come on in? Come see the warehouse. And he slides the door open and lets you in. And inside, you see it's just stacked with crates and boxes. And there's a few people milling about with little data pads where they're taking inventory, and a few small, probably 13, 14-year-old kids, kind of street urchin sorts. They're running around carrying items and bringing things in to other people. And there's stacking. There's a whole business here where things are being put and purchased and delivered. Well, what are you looking for exactly?
Well, my friend here, his name's Ulysses. He's looking for a bit of a bigger purchase. He's looking for a submersible. I myself am hoping you can get some kind of stun guns. I don't want somebody getting back up for a while after hitting. I want real ones, but we'll see.
Stun guns, I got you covered there. He takes you over to a box where he's got a couple different varieties there, and he's got. He's like, we got stun sticks. We've got these things are awful nice, and he pulls out some stun grenades. And I thought I had a stunner on here. Oh, don't tell me I don't have a stunner. I thought I had added a stunner. And I'm going to add it here real quick, but he's got some stunners as well. So we can take care of you, whatever you need. And let me hurry and add a stunner really quickly.
Would you look at that? I just knew it'd be a pleasure doing business with you.
Well, we got anything that any sort of enterprise might need for themselves. Give me 1 second to make this stunner. I gotta grab the stats real quick. Let's see. Stunner. One second. Almost done. And let's see. Sorry, 1 second.
So, Ellis, do you know anything about submersibles? Because I kind of don't know what we're going to be looking at here. Don't know too much myself.
Well, I'm not the most knowledgeable when it comes to, ships and crafts and that sort of thing.
Well, I definitely know my way around a ship. I suppose if they're not too different, fingers crossed, be able to give it a good once over.
And I'm sure you'll have some time to learn your way around.
Alright, I got stunners in there. Sorry about that. So if you want a stunner, they're 1,000 credits. These stun grenades, I can let you have them for 30. The stun sticks, they're 300. If you want more magazines for your stunner, they're 200.
So I immediately forgot all the prices you just said. Sorry, I don't know why that was just in one ear out the other. That was bad. But I think Chief would definitely be grabbing kind of. Well, he's already got a stun stick, but he would like to get a stunner and some grenades. And he's offering to buy for anybody else who wants them. And I definitely recommend it. I we don't want to be, too loud here.
I'll type up these prices here for you. There we go. And if you want some, you, I believe, can just drag those from the chat onto your character, and I'll let you reduce your credits.
Yep, that you can.
Perfect.
Wow. How much were the magazines? Is that even something
200
that you have in your inventory? Because
No,
I don't see any for my other guns.
Yeah, I
Just
think,
keep track.
I think we just kind of keep track. Like it does track your ammo expenditure, but I don't think we've tracked the magazines on our character sheet. And then once you put them in your inventory, there's like a little hand icon that will equip it. So you've got it equipped if you want to have it at the ready.
I guess I'll unequip my other weapons and equip my. Well, we're thinking about going in those submersibles, so we would have vac suits, right?
Yeah, you'd have your vac suit on.
And just in case, I might bring along something that looks like a like a toolbox that someone doing maintenance might use, and I'll keep my laser pistol in there. Hopefully that will keep it from being detected if we get patted down.
Oh, perfect. Tell me about this submersible that you want. What sort of venture you got in mind? And he's asking Ulysses.
Just on world, we're just looking something that might be able to get us down to an underwater access port. Nothing too serious, but just needs to be able to hold up for a short little trip.
Do you mind telling me where this access port is?
It might be best that you didn't know. Not sure you want to hear all the details about this, but you'll be paid well for it, I can tell you that much.
Well, it's going to increase the price, you understand.
That's understandable.
I got a couple routes we can go. I've got one here that's a 6-man mini submersible, and he shows you a schematic of it. He's like, I don't have it here, but I can get it here, and it looks really nice. It's kind of like the diving bells that we might have, like for the manned submersible craft, similar to like the one that imploded like earlier this year or last year. I forget what that was called. It looks kind of like that one. There's enough room for everyone just to sit inside, and someone uses a joystick to steer it around. As long as you don't go down to the Titanic, you'll be just fine.
Right, and does this one have seat warmers?
Yeah, your seat will be plenty warm. The radiation this drive gives off, it warms up the cabin real nice. Now this one here, we're looking 80,000 credits. I think it's fair price for the risk involved.
Yeah, it's definitely reasonable. Before we make any deals, though, what else do you have available?
Well, I got these little man-portable units. If you're wearing a vac suit, you'll be just fine. Otherwise, you're going to need some sort of breathing apparatus. But it's a little handheld propulsion unit. You just hold it with both hands. It's got a little impeller on there, and it'll drive you through the water, at a reasonable rate. Nice and safe, this one is. But, heaven forbid you get a puncture in your vac suit, if you know what I mean. These units here, definitely. These are only 2,000 credits for one of these.
And do we know how far of a distance we'd have to travel underwater?
It is, let's see if this has scale. It's probably about maybe 1,000 yards, 1,000 meters.
Well, I'm kind of thinking that these little handheld propulsion devices might work for the job. I don't know if we need to get the larger submersible, but what does everyone else think?
Well, I you know much more about this than me, so I'll take your opinion. But I at this point, it might be better to just go for safe. We've come this far. With a little extra money, I'm not worried.
Maybe we could get reimbursed for it too. Perhaps we should ask.
Well,
We
you
could
gotta
always
understand,
just
I ain't gonna give you a receipt or nothing. So, whether you get reimbursed or not, that's between you and your patron.
Yeah, we could always just put it on Lady Ada's tab. I suppose there's no problem with that.
She likely does not have a tab with the black market.
Well, no. I just mean that we'll pay here, and we'll just add that to our fees when this is all finished.
Assuming she survives. I can have this delivered here in 1 week's time. You see, it takes time to get this in, and I make no guarantees of condition. It's the one I see here. It says it should be like new. So it should be good to go, but you're welcome to check it out before you take delivery of it.
Well, sounds good to me. It's been a pleasure doing business with you, sir.
Oh, the pleasure's all mine. And he holds out a small credit reader for you to transfer credits over. And as you transfer that over, he looks at it, sees the confirmation. Yeah, definitely a pleasure. Come back in a week. I'll have that for you. And we'll get you on your merry way to whatever access port you're going for. I don't need to know nothing about it. Just do me a favor. Don't leave this submersible anywhere near that access port.
Definitely. And Ellis, I seem to have forgotten my transfer device. Do you mind taking care of this one?
Yeah, sure.
And Ellis, you transfer over the 80,000 credits.
I guess so.
Hopefully you'll get reimbursed. If not, that's only, what, 20,000 each? If you pull this off, you're getting 500,000 credits each, so small price to pay. So you've got a way into the palace. What's the plan once you're in the palace?
Yeah, that is the real question. It seems like they've got security checkpoints and it's like the real deal. Guards on every floor. I don't think we're gonna be sneaking in, but we could try. They've got cameras, clearly.
And the lower floors were for the government office, which is the part we'll be entering from the submersible entrance.
Yeah,
so that'll be the easiest spot, potentially.
Maybe there'll be some security minister down there we can take captive and... well, I get a little ahead of myself, but who knows?
There could be somebody down there that we could potentially use for access to other parts of the palace. That's maybe a higher ranking official.
It seems like there's a security chief, but he's got a dozen guys with him.
I was thinking maybe like some sort of political figure, somebody who maybe is a little bit easier to convince to help us, either through bribery or threats.
Well, that's not a half bad idea. Well, I always knew you were brilliant.
Are we able to get like a list of the officials working in the lower floors and maybe like their titles?
Yeah, you're going to have to hack into the computers to get that. That's going to be an electronics computers role.
Okay. I'll give that a try. Now let's mess with a few things.
Ooh, it's close. You get a little bit of information about the lower floor. There's a lot of bureaucrats and citizen employees here, secretaries, things like that. But most of them are going to be, kind of plump guys in positions of power that are sycophants to the High Prince. You don't get any official like nobility titles, but you see there's a lot of ambassador so-and-so and assistant to the ambassador, and there are certain other aides, like a aide de camp that would be the guy over the security force, things like that. No one here looks to be of any high nobility, and you get the impression that maybe the High Prince has gotten rid of any potential rivals. Like, he has kept himself so high up above the rest of the citizens that no one would dare to try to overthrow him through official channels.
Not much luck there then.
Yeah, it was a good thought, though.
I'm going to roll 2 dice. This represents the first week you've been in town. Ooh, okay. Anything above a 10, you're drawing attention. So, so during this time, some suspicion has been raised. And you begin to notice that there have been patrols in the slums, and you're not sure what they're looking for, but these patrols have been openly going into houses, openly going into businesses, and demanding paperwork, and that people put their thumbprint onto the computer. It's almost like they're looking for someone. And Ellis, you're the first to spot this. Maybe as you're, 2 days since you've been to the black market, you're out, getting lunch or something, and talking to some of the locals, and you see these police patrols come by, and some of the locals say, "Hey, you got your papers on you?"
Oh, of course I have my papers.
Good. You don't want these guys to take you in. Looks like they're headed our way.
Oh, yeah, if you would just excuse me for a moment, I have to go relieve myself. If they ask about me, just tell them I'll be just a little bit.
He's like, they see you run, they're gonna chase you.
Oh, there won't be any running. I'm just nothing suspicious about me.
Give me a roll for this. This is going to be a persuade roll. Or sorry, streetwise roll, not persuade. Oh, just barely got it. As you duck around the building to relieve yourself, you can hear the security personnel come up to the man you were just talking to. He's like, "Show us your papers. Put your finger on the pad. Where's that other one that was with you?" And you hear him say, "Oh, he said he'd be right back. He just went around the corner for a pee." What do you do, Ellis?
I think now would be a good time to leave the scene. Not drawing any attention to myself, of course, just taking a stroll back to the quarters.
Not running.
No.
But maybe being stealthy?
Yes.
Give me a stealth roll. You can add a +1 to that for your chain bonus. Oof. You manage to duck a few alleys over and then double back, and you can see that the security personnel looks like they were looking for you. In fact, one of them is actually taking a sample of some urine on the ground. Now, did you actually pee, or was this someone else's pee?
That's someone else's.
Okay, he's taking a sample of that pee, so they're being very thorough. But you managed to get away and get back to the safe house.
I think once I'm back, I would tell everyone that we need to kind of lay low for a while. Maybe, I don't know, forge some documents or put ourselves into their systems or whatever we need to do.
If you want to get into their systems, someone can make an electronics computers roll. If you fail it, it will likely tell them that someone has tried to gain access. If you want to just make paper documents, that would be a streetwise to try and find someone, maybe your contact with the black market. You could go back there. That would give a make the difficulty less. But they would probably be able to get you some documents, but you would not be in the computer system. Does anyone have an opinion on that? A way to get some sort of identification?
We also could just lay low
Yeah.
until we do the mission.
Yeah, I think laying low's our best bet. They're too damn thorough. They got two ways of checking. You know, you can get one or the other. It's real hard to get both for all of us.
Yep. Anything else you want to do before you go pick up the submersible? Any last bits of prep?
Well, we still have to kind of come up with a plan for moving around once we're inside.
Yep. Yeah, just sneaking through might be hard. It sounds like there's a lot of security in there. Now, there was someone mentioned something about maybe like a repair crew.
Yeah, Ulysses was thinking that maybe he might try and get in under the disguise of a maintenance crew, and then if we can get access to the security room where we need to plug in this data drive, and then maybe we could obtain some security uniforms somewhere along the way. We could always then shut down the biometric system from the security room, and then the people dressed up as security would probably be able to move around fairly freely, at least until they get the security system back online.
That is a pretty solid plan. It's just, what about the 13 security guards?
I've had worse odds before. We've got plenty of firepower.
Well, I've got a stun gun and 5 stun grenades, but
Well, Ada did say that she anticipates that a lot of the security would be in the security office. So if you could, open the door, drop some grenades, shut the door, wait a few seconds, open the door, they might all be stunned. But that may set off alarms, or maybe noticeable, maybe noisy.
Well, if we're doing repairs, that's all right. And I wonder if there's a way to maybe release some gas in the air ducts. Something like that. Put him to sleep.
that would be great for non-lethal.
I do have some experience with engineering life support, so that might come in handy.
And you know that they are drugging the populace, so there's probably all sorts of drugs and chemicals and medicines there in the palace.
Could try to find out who's in charge of that and bribe them for that day. But that might also just immediately alert the High Prince.
Any other ideas before you pick one? And come up with a plan A and a plan B for if things go south.
So we'd say in repair people or plan A.
Now, one option, kind of based on something that Ulysses said, there's air ducts in here. You could try and move around through the air ducts.
Chief's not a big guy. That might be a pretty good plan, actually.
Yeah, I wonder if we could get some sort of interior map of it. we have an idea of where we can go. See if we can kind of split routes so that one group can go to the security room and the other can head towards Prince.
If you want to pull up a map of it, you would need to. It'd be an electronic computers check to try and pull up that map.
And I don't know if he believes he can do that after his previous failure.
Someone else want to try that?
Ulysses has a 0.
Anyone have better in electronics computers?
-2 for Chief.
I have a 1.
Not too good, is it, Chief? Oh, you have a 1, Ellis?
Yeah.
You can get either the lower level or the upper level. Which one do you get?
What do we think is more important?
You know the server room's in the lower level. You know the High Prince is in the upper level.
I'll go lower level.
I'm going to take you all to a map that is unlabeled. But you can see that there are a few security checkpoints and cameras located on this map. You can see the icons for those. And there are 3 rooms that are they're in color, so like this one, and this other one, and they must be something of import. Well, and the bathroom, I guess, but I don't know if you need to know that. Now, where the access might lead in from down below, from that crashed Sindalian ship, you don't know. That's not marked on here, but that probably there's probably like a sub basement level, maybe for utilities, and that would lead in at some point, probably from the lift over here. Looks like an elevator. In fact, I can mark that for you right there.
And these security checkpoints, they're manned by people. I guess we might not know that.
Yep, yeah, you're not sure. But you do see there's a lot of cameras around. In fact, there's cameras in all the rooms except for there are no cameras in this room and no cameras in this room and no cameras in these 2 rooms down here. But the room up here does have a camera. And just for fun, I'm going to pull your tokens over here, because we'll be coming back to this map eventually.
Well, if we choose to go through vents, would we be able to then drop a stun grenade in on that security room through the vents?
If there is a vent leading into the security room, very likely. You'd probably have to remove the vent cover and drop it in.
That would be a pretty good option.
Although I'm wondering if it might just be easier if we had someone approach as someone doing maintenance, and then just if we can take out guards outside the security room, we could then just do what was mentioned before and just throw a few of those stun grenades in and close the door.
Do you have an idea which one might be the security office or the server room? You know they're on this floor.
Well, the server room certainly looks like it's kind of the top left. Looks like that could house a lot of equipment. Server racks.
So if that's the server room, is the room with the guards, is that the one just to the right of it, we're thinking?
Oh yeah, they would have the monitors for. Yeah, makes sense.
And I'm assuming these security checkpoints are likely going to have security at them when we get to this floor.
Yeah, you don't know if that's going to be a person standing there or if it's going to be like a biometric scanner, like something like a metal detector at an airport. You walk through and it scans you and can determine, are you supposed to be there? That you don't know.
Well, if we could get up the lift, posing as maintenance workers, it looks like we wouldn't even have to pass any of these security checkpoints before we get to the security office.
And then to get to the upper floors, you could take that lift to get up to where the High Prince is on the upper floor. Looks like there's no stairs.
So yeah, we just hit the security office really quick, send the other people up the lift, the ones who want to go, and then hit the server room after. We'll hit that scanner though, and that will at that point trigger them. Although I imagine they'll, hitting the security room will do that itself.
Yeah. I think they'll know you're there.
Yeah, if we could get into the security office before we head to the server room, we could see if we could try and shut down some of these systems so we don't trip any alarms, or at least turn off any alarms that are already activated.
Breaching the security office door is going to set off alarms, though. They're going to be seeing us on the cameras trying to get into the room. I imagine they've got some kind of alarm button in there.
That's true. Maybe that's how we could try and use the maintenance and just say that, or that's how we get past, just saying, oh, we got a call that some system in the security office has gone awry and we need to go fix it.
Or if you do the air vent, you could maybe drop in that way or drop in grenades.
Yeah, do we want to have someone posing as maintenance and someone sneaking through the vents? And I guess, would we have comms that we can communicate if we're separated?
Yep. Yeah, you could have comms.
I think
Well
Chief has
then,
kind of implant. Yeah.
yeah, if the person sneaking through the vents then drops a stun grenade in there, then they could drop in and open the door, and then we could take care of the biometric systems and everything from the security office, and then the other team can head up the lift towards where the prince is at.
I can't think of a better plan. So far, that sounds
Yeah,
pretty
I think
good.
so.
Yeah.
So those that are going to pose as maintenance, it's easy enough to get, maintenance clothes, coveralls, and tools and things like that. Are you going to try and get any sort of like official badges or anything, or just look like maintenance men?
It might be worthwhile at least having something that resembles paperwork.
That's something that you could get from the black market people. There will be a cost associated with that. 5,000 credits should be able to get you enough. It wouldn't be entered into their systems, but if someone looked at your badge, it would look official, but it wouldn't pass muster if it's scanned.
Well, cost is nothing. We'll just add it to Lady Ada's bill.
To the bill. And who's going to be the maintenance people? Is that Ulysses and Chief? Or was Chief going to go in the vents?
I was going to say, I think I'm probably going to be the best with grenades from a vent, to be honest with you. And I am really not a bluffer.
Would Dalamont be the better bluffer?
Yeah, most likely.
Can he pull
Probably
off
be better
being
one.
a blue collar worker?
So long as they don't ask any too intense questions. He does know some basic stuff here and there, but it depends on how into it they are.
Yeah, if they bring you in for IT support, the jig is up.
Well, if we don't have to do bluffing, Ulysses, could he make that like an electronics or engineering role and just because he's good at either of those, so he could maybe pass as a maintenance worker.
Yes, depending on what you say, I might let you do like a mechanics role or an engineering role to try.
He's also got a 1 in mechanic too.
Yeah, so I think if you, we could use those skills sort of as your skill to act like you know what you're doing and things you might be called upon to fix. I think that would work. At least
because
it sounds good.
Yeah, I think Dalamont's going to be a lot better at talking to people if he's part of the team that goes up towards the prince, because Ulysses is kind of terrible at all those skills.
So then Dalamont and Ulysses, you guys will go as maintenance men, and then Chief and Ellis, you're going to be the crawling through the vents.
Yeah, I think that's for the best. Chief's got like neural comms. He's a pretty short guy, but he's very dexterous. Like he's kind of built for this.
Perfect. Ellis, is that what you want to do, or do you want to go with the maintenance crew? I don't want to tell you what you need to do.
Yeah, well, I think it might be good for each of us to have like some backup as like another person with us, just in case things go wrong, so we're not alone.
Buddy system.
Yeah. All right. So that's the plan, and then who's going to work on the server and who's going to go after the prince, or are you going to do it all together?
Well, I think if it's okay, Ulysses might stay behind at the security office, and he can try and shut down the biometrics and security systems.
Chief, I can't really do much in the server room, to be honest. So
You might be better going with Lady Ada up to find her brother in case there is
yeah,
a fight.
if we can clear the security office, I think at that point I'd try to escort the lady.
What about Dalamont and Ellis?
Yeah, I think Belmont would try to make his way up with Lady Ada as well. Although, how is she coming in with us?
Yeah, she's gonna come in with you. There's room for her in the sub, and then once she gets in, she will stay in the lift until you guys are ready to take her up to the second floor.
Okay.
But if she needs to, she'll come out of the lift and lend what help she can. And then, Ellis, are you going up to take care of the prince as well, or are you going to help Ulysses in the server room?
Um, I do have a little bit of skill in electronics and things. If Ulysses needs someone there to help him, I could do that. I'm not terrible with electronics.
That might be useful. All right, is everybody okay with the plan? And then once you get to the upper level, you're just going to have to wing it because you don't have a map, but you know he's up there somewhere.
So if Lady Ada is with us, has she been in the palace before where she would know the layout?
Only when she was a child, and she doesn't know how much of it may have changed, but she would be familiar with where the living quarters are. And she says that is above these units over here. She says the throne room and the living quarters, I remember them being on the eastern side of the palace. This would be the garden, but she doesn't remember what's in the middle or what's on the western side. But the High Prince is going to be somewhere on the right-hand side of the map. All right, so we put it together. You go to pick up the submersible, and when you see it, it doesn't look quite like the picture. This thing, it's like if you had ordered from Temu or something. It's like the Soviet era submersible. There's signs of rust on it. It looks like a few parts are hanging on by perhaps corrosion is keeping it together. Chief, give me Ulysses, give me a mechanics roll as you look this over. Oh, wow. It looks in bad condition, but it looks airtight and looks seaworthy. But you can't push this. If you have to make any, quick maneuvers or any rapid changes in speed, that could be bad. Low and slow, and this will get you there. But this is not exactly what you thought you were paying for.
Yeah, in fact, Ulysses probably even finds a screw that's a little loose that would have had the side fall off had it not been tightened,
Yeah.
but just screw that back in and it's probably good to go.
Yeah, there's a little drain plug in the bottom that someone had left out, so you put that plug in there so it doesn't fill up full of seawater. But it looks like it's ready to go, and they will deliver it for you at the shore at night. And the day finally comes. As you board the submersible and it begins to slowly lower into the water, you run a second and third check on all your vac suits and make sure everything is where it should be. Now this will count as a flying ship, even though it's flying underwater. I think, Dalamont, are you our best flyer, or is Ulysses?
Would it be a small craft?
It would be a small craft.
Be a 0 from me.
Yeah, for pilot small craft. Are you both 0?
Ulysses is also 0, so he could help Dalamont if Dalamont wants to pilot it.
So
Sure, down. I'm always down to give something new a spin.
yeah, if you want to help, that'll give you a bonus die, Dalamont. So when you roll that, you can add a bonus die. Like a boon, I think it's called.
Oh yeah.
Nice. So with the boon, So as you begin to pilot this underwater, there is a faint headlight that comes on. It flickers now and then, and you can see the sea floor. And it is a craggy rock of moss-covered ruins. And you quickly begin to realize that these ruins, these small rocky pillars you see, they're not rock, but they're metal. They're pieces of that artillery ship that crashed here. That thing must have been absolutely massive. And as your submarine careens along, hugging near the bottom, you can see up ahead, out of the range of the beam of your lights, a faint glow. And as you approach, it must be the wreck of that Sindalian ship. And the side is split open. And as you take the ship in, small schools of fish teem around the submarine. None of these are large enough to cause you any trouble. Maybe the largest is maybe 2 feet long. But they're simply intrigued by your light. And as you make your way into the ship, there's a lot of mud and silt that gets kicked up. The ruin is extremely old, but the water has preserved much, including warnings, biological and radiological warnings on the walls that warn you that this may be hazardous to your health. It looks like you're entering into the reactor core area of this ship. And then you realize that the ruins are heated by the residual heat of this old reactor core. And it's through this core that you have to travel to get into the ship, or into the palace. Now there is a few spots as you're taking the submersible that's going to be a tight squeeze. And this is going to be another pilot check, and you can add a +2 to this. And you get another boon as well. Nice. So you managed to avoid some corroded, what looks like chains hanging down that could easily tangle up in your craft, and you maneuver over towards an area where the water seems shallow. And as you raise the craft up, you find that you are indeed inside the reactor core of this old ship. Now, you all have vac suits on, and they begin to click wildly as they register 7 rads are assaulting you. Now your vac suit has radiation protection. If you did not have your vac suit on, you would take radiation damage at this point. But because of those rads, the vac suit protection, those rads are absorbed by the suit. But you know that you couldn't linger here for long. Now the transition from the wreck and the lower levels include the palace's foundation and sub-basements, rising to the basement proper where there's machine rooms kept. And you can see that there are no guards here, but there are small motion sensors that are in every corner of the room. And you look and just waiting to see, are these things on? But there's no lights to indicate that they are active. But you do see a huge colony of small creatures. Let me send you a picture. Small rat-like creatures scurrying about here in the heat. These are those Erops, those small rat-like creatures that Lady Ada warned you about. And the sensors have likely been disabled to prevent them from going off constantly because of these creatures. However, getting past these ugly things will require some effort. Ellis, how do you propose getting past these things?
Well, we could just is there like, are they like actively like trying to attack us or anything?
They're not actively trying to attack you, but they are swarming around, and some of them are beginning to approach. Almost with a mix of maybe curiosity, but definitely not fear.
So would they like just leave after like trying to check us out?
Maybe they might also bite you. You don't know.
Would they? Are they? Do they look like hungry or anything?
Give me an animals check. That should be one of your skills.
Oh boy.
You can't tell just looking at them what their motives are, but they're getting more and more bold, and they are approaching quickly. And they're small, but there's a lot of them. Probably 30 or 40 of these.
Dalamont has studied a lot of different fields of science. Biology, one of them. He might have learned something about these creatures and how to maybe send them away or get them interested in something else.
Yeah, give me a biology roll. Nice. You know that one of the main motivators for any living thing, especially those that are non-intelligent, like these creatures, is going to be food. They're looking for food.
Can we bring any snacks?
You probably do have some rations. You probably brought something to eat in case you needed sustenance. If you check your pockets, let me have you give me a roll for that, Dalamont. This is going to be, I'm going to say, a medic roll. Your medikit that you have is going to have some sort of protein solutions in there. Yeah, you've got a few gel packs that are filled with protein in there. You pop a few of those open.
Yeah, he'll open them up and kind of crumble it into a bunch of little pieces, and kind of just throw those kind of far off to the side, out of the way.
The Erops immediately lunge after them, clearing a path for you to proceed. As you get through the rooms past them, you go through rooms that handle life support, power, and the elevators leading up. And you know that if any of the... there's a map showing that the lift will go to a custodial station. And let me mark that. And the custodial station, that's going to have the main engineers are going to be there. And that if any of the main systems, life support or power, go out, the lower levels will go into lockdown. The upper levels have their own dedicated power system. You can't cut the power to the upper levels from here, but you could cut the power to the lower level, but emergency power would come on and it would trigger the lockdown. But there is the lift that would take you up to the lower levels. And Lady Ada pushes the button for the lift and looks at you all and says, "The time has come. If you want to take the air shafts, they've got to be over there in life support. The rest of us can take the lift." And this is where Chief and Ellis, you're going to head into the air shafts.
Yes. Good luck to you.
Before that, how have we distributed the stun grenades here?
Yeah, who's got what weapons? Did everyone kind of take what they bought from the from the black market guy? Well, Chief has a lot of grenades. Holy cow.
Yeah,
Chief's
Chief
good.
was buying.
Chief's good. Does anyone else, did they not pick up a grenade that they wanted? Looks like
Dalamont might. Hey, Chief, can you maybe hand me just one stun grenade just in case?
I can throw one on your character sheet.
Yeah, absolutely. So Chief like math, so he just paid a flat 3,000 and just figured we'd grab whatever we needed from him.
Grab as many as you could.
And he extended that offer to everybody, naturally.
And did Ulysses, did you grab... You grabbed a stunner. Did you want a grenade as well, Ulysses?
Might take one just in case.
Okay. Perfect.
And I'm going to stuff my stun grenade down in our kind of fake repairman tool bag in hopes that it kind of blends in with everything.
And Chief, you've got your stunner in your toolbox.
Yeah, it's going to be fun climbing around on the vents with that, but yes, that's probably wise.
Perfect. And Ulysses, you've got yours packed away. You guys put on your maintenance suits. You've got your badges that you paid a pretty penny for. Why don't we take our break here, and when we get back, we will assault the palace. I'll see you all in about 8 minutes.
sword. I'm headed to the mountains to rescue the princess from the evil goblin. I ignore all the signs of impending danger because I'm a fighter and not some crappy ranger. 47 hit points and a high dexterity, 17 for strength. Kobolds are afraid of me, crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a medieval caper. While in real life, my fate is unspoken. Hero roll of the dice and my fate is unspoken. I locate the lair, but it doesn't make much sense to me. I think that the DM might be out to get me. A hero in armor and truth, bards tell my legacy. The flame of my torch illuminates the enemy. A win in a battle, hewing foes asunder. Deeper I venture, charged through the open gate. The flame of the dragon tried to seal my awful fate with a handful of dice. 5 times I rolled 20. The dragon goes down. The DM bloody. I leave with the princess, a satchel chock full of gold. We head to the tavern where my mighty tale unfolds. Crafted from numbers on living paper. I skip from the mundane to a naval caper. While in real life, my fate isn't spoken. Hero roll of the dice and my fate isn't spoken. The king honored me with a mighty crossbow. It's blessed by the elves, he said. I thank him and I go. The life of a hero, struggling to stay alive. It's worth all the hardship though, 'cause now I'm a level 5. Level 5.
All right, I am back. Are we all here?
Hello.
Hello, there's a Luke. Do we have a...
Hey.
There's Hunter. Do we have Henrik?
I'm back.
Excellent, and I have Ms. Pick here. Perfect. So I'm going to move your tokens around. So we've got Ulysses and Sir Dalamont are going to be in the lift, along with Lady Ada Weishart. And then I'm going to put Chief and Ellis, you're going to be in the vents. I'm going to do you two first. And so I need Chief and Ellis, and you guys can work together on this, but I'm going to need a stealth roll. And if one of you is helping, that's going to be a bonus die to the other. Which of you two is better at stealth?
I have a 1.
You have a 1?
That's better than Chief. Chief is trained, but he's just got a 1. I think he's got a dex of +1, but yeah, you're better.
So yeah, take a boon on that, Ellis, and give us a stealth roll. You want an 8 or higher. Got it.
Nice.
And that +2 is going to carry over to the next part. And so now we need a roll. This is either going to be Dex or it's going to be Athletics Dexterity. And Chief, I think you're trained in Athletics Dexterity. That's probably going to be better because that'll include your Dexterity bonus. And you can add a +2 to that.
Do that under DM.
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a 1 in athletics dexterity.
Nice.
It's a +2 or +1?
Yeah, +2.
Okay, fingers crossed.
Oh, easy. So you both scurry through the ventilation system, and it's difficult in the ascent because there's no ladder, there's no steps. You're basically pushing your hands and legs against the side of the shaft and slowly working your way up. And with the two of you working together, you're able to do it efficiently, and most importantly, you're able to do it quietly. And as you get up to the top, the shaft kind of follows these corridors, these passageways, and you know kind of the direction you need to head. But I am going to have you guys make a navigation roll, and you can help one another. If one of you wants to make that roll, you can take a bonus die on it. Ellis, you are not trained in navigation. Is Chief?
Got a 0.
Got a 0. So Chief, roll that and take a bonus die on it. And you can add a +2 to that as well, carrying over your chain bonus. Got it. Sweet. As you inch your way along, you see a couple of vents. And the first vent you see is over this main room right here. And as you crawl over, you can see the lift doors, but you also see that there is a member of the security staff. Oops, that says Ulysses. Not Ulysses.
His evil twin, no!
Let me grab this real quick. Oh, what the... Okay. Hang on. This says... That's not right. Hang on one second. There we go. Sorry, one second. Let me grab this real quick. I gotta change the size on this or it's gonna be too big. There is a security guard camped out here. And you see that as you go by. And you do have comms. You would be able to communicate that to the others.
Yeah, I think Chief having neural comms would be like hands free. You can easily do that. Just say, guys, we got trouble. There's a security guard right outside that lift.
And then you continue on and you make it over to the security office. And there is a vent here. And peering down through the vent, you see there are 13 personnel in here. Several at the desk, some standing around. They're all watching monitors. And they're talking on small handheld comms, presumably to other personnel throughout the palace. To get the vent off quietly, we'll take a stealth roll. If you just want to smash it down and drop the grenades, you can forego the stealth roll. But if you're still trying to be sneaky, that's what you would need to do. Ellis,
Let my drop security guard out.
Are you better at stealth, Ellis?
Yeah, I think I was.
Okay, and you can add a +2 to it. Okay.
Nice.
So you slide. The vent lifts up and slides into the air shaft, and you've now got an open drop large enough that you could drop through, but you can easily drop some grenades through. And Chief, you begin to take out grenades and get them ready to pull the pins. Before we get to that, the lift is going up from the basement, and through the crackle of the comms, Dalamar and Ulysses and Dalamont, you hear the crackle of Chief's voice. There's a guard just outside the lift. And you know when those lift doors open, there's going to be someone there. You've got a few seconds to make a preparation. What do you do?
Well, I have my stunner on me, so I guess I'll have that behind my back. Maybe we can talk our way through this.
Yeah, keep it on standby. I'll try and fake a mechanical emergency that we got to fix here. I think Erop's in the vents.
Oh, nice. That would mask any sort of sounds that you might hear as well coming from the vents. Great idea. Yeah. Let's say as the door opens, you see this security personnel standing there, and she looks and says, "We've had no call for maintenance."
We got a big problem. There are Erops crawling all through the vents. They're chewing through camera wires.
Give me a roll for that. I'll give you an option here. You can do a persuade roll. You can also do a what's the roll? Broker roll.
Well, persuade.
Oh, just barely. You needed an 8 and you got an 8. And she says, "Erupts in the vents. This hasn't been reported."
They're infested on the lower floors.
Damn rodents. Well, where are you headed?
I don't know. We're trying to track them down and figure out how to get them out of there.
Well, why don't you come with me? Let's go talk to the head of security. Let them know we've got a issue in the vents. The last thing we need is for the High Prince to hear that there's someone crawling around in the vents. You know, the last time that happened, he purged them with poison gas.
Well, we don't want to do that because they've already chewed through parts of it, so that poison gas might leak out.
All right, come on. Let's go to the office. And now, Chief and Ellis, you can hear this over the comms. If the comms are open, you can hear this conversation. The first thing that alarms you is that the High Prince has purged the air shaft with poison gas in the past, and so he must have a system for doing that. But the second thing is that they're headed towards the security office. Does Ulysses and Dalamont, do you let her get to the office, or do you try and take her out before she opens that door? Do you have any intention of going in when those stun grenades go off?
So Dalamont's plan was to he wasn't totally sure, where they are with the stun grenades, but he was going to lock his stun grenade in and close the door after the security guard walks in.
Oh, nice. Okay. As the three of you head over to the security office door, she opens the door, peeks in, and says, "We got a situation here." And now that security vent, or the air vent, is open directly above them. And Chief, you and Ellis, you can see all of this happening from up there. And you see her go in. Dalamont, you're standing at the door. How do we do this? Who goes first? Does Dalamont lob the grenade and shut the door?
Yeah, if he doesn't see anything dropping down, he's gonna throw that thing in that he had prepared and try and pull the door shut on the security guard.
Okay. To use a stun grenade as an explosives roll, if you click on your character sheet, you should be able to. If you click on stun grenade and click on attack, it should let you make that. Oh, I'm sorry, it's a dexterity athletics check, not an explosives, because you're throwing it. And you only need to beat a 4 on this.
I don't think I actually got the stun grenade added. Oh, yeah.
No, so on your main sheet, it shows up under your armor. It has attacks, and you'll see stun grenade, and then I see your stun stick. If you click on the red attack button, so it's not under equipment, just on your main page below your picture, it'll say damage, armor, and then attacks.
Oh, now I see. I was on an old one, I guess. Didn't have it. Okay.
And you just need to beat a 4. Good thing, because you rolled a 6. As that happens, are you shutting the door as well?
Yes.
Okay, and Chief, are you dropping your grenades at the same time?
Yeah, he was waiting until he saw the door shut. As soon as he sees or hears the door shut, he would drop his.
Perfect. You see Dalamont, he looks up at you, and you see his grenade roll in as he shuts the door, and you can drop yours. Go ahead and roll your grenades. You just need to beat a 4 on yours as well. You're just dropping them. Ooh, nice. With the door shut, Ulysses and Sir Dalamont, you see the blinding flash even from under the door. Ellis and Chief, that flash comes up through that vent as you turn your face away, and there's a loud series of staccato pops, pop, 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 as the grenades go off, and you hear the thump of bodies hitting the floor. You've got a few seconds before anyone else comes to investigate. No alarms have gone off yet. What do you do? What does Chief and Ellis do?
Well, I think we were going to try to disable the the checkpoints, I think.
Okay. To get down in here, you can either jump, make a dexterity roll, or if you climb down, it'd be a strength roll. If you jump, you'll have a chance to start in on that action first. If you climb down, it'll be a little slower. It would take you more time.
Yeah, I think Chief would probably jump. He's not strong. He's old.
Yeah, so you can do an athletics dexterity roll, Chief. Nice. Yeah, so you drop down. Your knees, you feel it in your knees, but you land on your feet in a crouch, and you can rush over to the computer. Ellis, what about you?
I'll do a strength roll.
Okay. So you begin to lower yourself down, kind of hanging onto the ceiling. Yeah, so you manage to drop in without taking any damage. You're both in the room. Chief, you're going to be able to go and take a seat before Ellis gets down. And as you scan the screen, give me an electronics sensor roll just to try and make heads or tails of what it shows.
Yeah, he doesn't have that skill.
Do your best.
Well, I guess it's just electronics then. I don't see a sensor.
Yeah, yep, just click on electronics. So you're looking at the monitors, and you can see Dalamont and Ulysses out on the monitor, and I think they're going to turn and head towards the server room. But you can also see that there's some yellow and red flashing lights on one of the screens. It's probably some sort of either seismic sensor or something, but it's going off. Let's go to Chief, or to Ulysses and Dalamont. So you're in the hallway, the door's shut, you hear that staccato burst, you hear the drops of bodies, and then you hear Chief drop down. What do the two of you do?
I think the plan was Ulysses was going to go in and try and shut down the sensors.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Into the security office?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll put Chief in there. You get through the door. You can make that electronic sensors roll. Chief's like, I don't know what I'm looking at here. Nice. So what you're able to turn off are these red things here. These are some of those sensors that you walk through and it scans you. That's going to allow Dalamont to get to the server room. You can also start turning off cameras if you like, but you see those alarms. The alarms are set for seismic activity noted. Please enter passphrase. So it wants an override in that. And as you are typing and trying to scroll through and find other ways to things that you can turn off, Dalamont, you make it over to the door of the server room. Now, when you get there, the server room, the door, this is a high security clearance. This is biometric authorization of a security head or higher. You can bypass it by hacking it open. It'll be an electronics computers check. Or you can do your best to find another way in.
What kind of biometrics does it use?
It looks like it's a handprint.
Maybe I'll run and try and grab the security chief.
Perfect.
Maybe if our chief can help.
Yep, he is unconscious. The two of you drag him, or do you just take his hand?
Seems a little gruesome.
Yeah,
Lop his hand off.
let's not shed blood if we don't have to.
You drag him down the hall and press his hand up against the sensor, and the room opens, and Dalamont, you make it into the server room.
And
No.
I think from here, Ellis can take it away, right?
And then all you have to do now is insert that data key, and that part of the plan is done.
Oh, that's it.
Yep. Once you insert that, the Trojan horse built into the software on that data card begins to take over, and you can see it already accessing the files. It's not only changing the contract with GDCO, but it's adding Lady Ada's biometrics to the system so that now she has access to every room in the palace. Ellis and Ulysses, what are you two doing? Ellis, you're down in that security office now. Chief left, dragging out the head of security with him.
I think we're gonna try and disable what we can, and then we're just gonna provide reconnaissance for Chief and Dalamont to head up to the upper level, and I guess we'll have to make sure that these security personnel don't wake up.
One thing that you see on the monitor, Ulysses, is that more security staff begin to come out of the rooms and begin to head down the hallways.
Can I find like a lock that I can turn on for the security office so they can't get in here?
Yeah. Yep. You can. That will be an easy electronics computers roll. You just need to beat a 4.
Hey, Ellis, come help me over here. Help me find this program here.
Can we kind of close those security checkpoints off, maybe, from the rest? Those two on the south side, kind of by the lift.
Yeah, like these over here. So you disabled those. Those were probably disabled when you disabled the other ones. So I think those are all turned off.
Can I get a bonus from Ellis helping?
Yes, you take a boon on that. Oh, the door appears to have been damaged in the explosion. whatever the electronics components on there, they are unresponsive.
Are these doors right here?
The gaps there?
Yeah.
Yes, those are doors.
Can we try closing those so they can't get in this area at all?
Yeah, that would be another electronics computers roll, but it's going to have a -2 chain bonus on there.
Oh, would I have got my +2 chain bonus then from the sensors?
No. No, because this is something different. This wasn't sensors. This is doors. So this would be a little different. But with the bonus from the sensors, you got all of the sensors turned off. So, Ellis, do you want to try to shut those doors?
And it was a
Electronics computers with a -2.
Okay.
Got
Nice.
it. So the doors here and here are now closed. And you can see the security personnel rapidly approaching those doors and scanning their cards trying to gain access. What do you all do? Dalamont, you're done. You've got that stick in there. It has downloaded the software. You can pull the stick. It looks like it's finished. You're good to go.
I guess we get ready to head up.
To the lift? Who
Maybe
all's going to the lift? No one?
Chief was going to
that
go.
one, though.
Yeah. That does leave you with all the security guards you deal with, though, so hopefully you can lock that office up.
Yeah, it looks like that door is not going to hold unless you block it with something else. Otherwise, you can abandon that and go with the rest of the group up to level 2.
Could I try and fix it with like a mechanic roll?
Yes, yep, a mechanic's roll would do it.
We do have some tools as well as part of our disguise.
Yep, so you have the tools. Give yourself a bonus boon die for that. Oh, nailed it. Nice. Easily get that door fixed. Now to do that computer's roll, you get a +2 to get that door locked. And Ellis, are you staying with Ulysses or are you going with the other group?
I was gonna stay with Ulysses.
Okay.
You want to close this door, Ellis? You seem a little better with the electronics computers.
You
got it.
You get a +2 bonus on that. Got it. Just narrowly, you get that door locked. That secure door is now locked. It will only open from the inside. Doesn't mean it can't be blown open, but for now, that's as secure as it's going to be. Chief and Dalamont, you guys are ready to head up to the lift?
Yep.
Okay. Ulysses, you and Ellis pull up the upper level on your computer so you can see the layout there. I'm going to take us all to the upper level. And I'm going to put, put him here in the lift. I'm going to put Chief and Sir Dalamont in the lift. And so our eyes and ears will be Ellis and Ulysses. But right now it's Lady Ada, Chief, and Dalamont on the second floor. So from here you can see that the upper floors, this is the High Prince's personal palace. This includes staterooms and offices for staff and guards, but what most people would come up here to see is the Grand Hall and the throne room. These floors are all restricted. Staff and security follow tight schedules and all must pass through security checkpoints where 4 armed guards stand ready. The High Prince's guards are militarily trained, but it is likely he has drugged them to be wily and suspicious. On the upper floors, no expense is spared to project an air of dominance and opulence. On Senlis, water is power, and here that theme comes home to roost. Through the luxurious grand hall, pillars and obelisks flow with clean, cool water, and the throne room's central feature is a spiraling cascade of gravitically suspended water. The final great wonder of the palace is the domed rooftop garden. On a world that struggles to produce scraggly moss, this garden is a masterpiece of horticultural splendor, complete with exotic birds and rare creatures. This is the one place where the High Prince can find peace. As the lift doors open, peering out into the hallway, you don't see any guards in the hallway, but there are those scanners here, and we're going to need Ulysses and Ellis to disable those if you want to get past that into the Grand Hall. So that's the censor's role for that one.
Oh, I can handle this, Ulysses or Ellis.
You can take a boon die on that. You got one of them disabled. I'm going to roll a die. Odd is this pair. Even is this pair. Even. So you got the ones you needed. You got those disabled. When the doors open, Chief and Sir Dalamont, where do you go?
Well, kind of eyeing Ada. Chief would just step out and see what she does.
Ada points towards the Grand Hall and says it's through there.
Okay. Chief, do you have a way to deal with the security force?
Well, I got a stun gun and some grenades. I don't know about anything else.
I just got this stick.
Oh, that's true. I do got the stick, and I suppose you got one too. Remember how we trained with it? We'll do great.
All right.
You open the door.
Yeah, that's what Ada wanted.
You open the door to the Grand Hall, and you see 4 security personnel. And they turn and look at you, and they draw out auto pistols. And we're going to be in combat. Lady Ada says, "You deal with this, I'll go find my brother." And she will sprint through the melee towards this opposite door here.
Brave woman.
Okay, now, if one of you wants to roll tactics, you can. That will improve the initiative, but right now 2 of the security staff are going to go, then Chief, then Sir Dalamont, then the other. And it's based on the effect of your tactics roll. If you get a negative, then it actually goes against you.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Do either of you want to do that?
It's probably for the best to try, because if they just shoot us both dead, 1 and 2, I mean...
Dalamont doesn't have any options. So I think he'll try. He'll try and assess the situation.
Perfect. Give me a tactics roll.
Oh,
a -2. Shoot. Or sorry, a -4. Okay. Well, that could have gone worse, but not by much. Let me update your initiative here. Okay. Do you guys still have your vac suits on? You weren't really... Well, actually, Sir Dalamont, you wouldn't. You were not being You were in your other clothes.
Yeah.
So let me unequip your vac suit. Okay. And Chief, did you keep your vac suit on, or would you have changed out of it?
No, he would have kept it on. I don't. Oh, jeez. I don't see why he wouldn't.
Yeah, you were not trying to be sneaky. You were going through the passageway. All right. This first person's going to come up, and she's actually got a stun stick, and she's going to target Chief. Now, Chief, you have an option. You can take a reaction on your turn. To do so will give a penalty to them. Your dodge is a 2. It'll give her a -2, but then your next action you'll have a -1 on it. Do you want to try to dodge this attack with the stun stick?
Yeah, I suppose he would.
Okay. Let me put a -2 on there. All right, and that is a miss. Let's go to the next. Okay. This one's going to come up and try to stun you as well. Do you want to dodge this one? It'll give you another -1 on your attack.
No, I won't touch that one.
Okay.
Distracted by the first one.
Oh, that's a hit. So the stun stick. This does not get through your armor, so your vac suit actually absorbs the full bore of the stun. This one's going to come up auto pistol drawn, but not going to act yet. And this one's going to go out into the hallway, chasing after Lady Ada. Chief, you're up next. And put a -1 on your attack roll. And that is a miss. Sir Dalamont, on your turn, whoops, I skipped you on accident. Let me go back to you. On your turn, you can make an attack roll, or you have the leadership. You can do a leadership roll. That will be a number of +1 modifiers that you can give to Chief on his next attack roll, or you can make an attack yourself.
I think I'll make an attack. I see that Chief's getting kind of clobbered over here and want to help him out.
Yeah. So go ahead and target, hover over, or click on whoever you want to attack, and then push T, and it should target them.
I think I'll do the one that's just a little bit farther over there.
There you go.
Oh, I see now.
And then just like you did your grenade, that is a miss as well with your stun stick. We go back to the next round. This is a stun stick coming in on Chief. Do you want to try to dodge this?
Yeah.
Okay, give her a -2. That's a miss. This next one is going to be on you as well. Do you want to dodge this one?
No.
Okay. That's a miss. And then the third one is going to draw the auto pistol and going to fire at Chief. Do you want to try to dodge this one?
Yeah, I suppose.
Okay. Ooh, that's a hit, but the really low damage. So, yeah, no damage gets through your armor on that one. Chief, your turn. Oh, nice. 9 damage. Let's see. To that one.
Not messing around with the stun stick anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. He's getting clobbered. It's easier to just press a stun gun against somebody.
Stunner does 9 damage. She has a flak jacket on, which gives her 5 protection. She'll take 4 from that. Another one like that, you'll have her down. Because stun damage only has to go against her endurance. You only have to get the endurance to 0, and they are stunned for a number of rounds equal to however additional much damage they take. Sir Dalamont, your turn.
And you were hitting this other one, huh?
Yeah, that's what I hit.
Talmot sees that. Tries to even out the numbers, focus on her.
Oh, narrowly missed.
It's hard because I'm trying to avoid Chief.
Right?
He's kind of right in front of me.
Alright. Stun stick on Chief. Do you want to try and dodge this?
Yeah, I'll dodge one of them. Well, no, I won't dodge this one. I'll dodge the one who's shooting.
Yeah, shooting the pistol. This one misses. This one will come in with the stun stick as well. And misses. Wow. And now the auto pistol. And you're going to dodge this one?
Yeah.
Okay, -2. Oh, that's a hit. 9 damage, but your vac suit, I think, has protection of 11, and so you managed to block that one as well. It goes to Chief, your turn. You'll just have a -1 on your attack for that dodge. Oh, shoot.
-1.
Yeah, -1 gotcha. Sir Dalamont.
Alright.
And Ulysses, give me an electronic sensors roll as you're looking to see where Lady Ada is going, or see if you can find where the High Prince is.
Oh, man.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
that's a hit. Nice. So that is 8 damage to that one. That's the one that was already hit. That one drops. Ulysses, you see that the High Prince is in his throne room. And I should have Lady Ada in here. Let me grab Lady Ada real quick. She's probably gonna be huge. Let me fix her token. Make it the right size. You see that she has walked into the throne room, and you don't have audio, but you can see her shouting at her brother. Sir Dalamont, you took the last move. Alright, this is going to be a... she's going to drop her stun stick and use her pistol on Chief. You want to try and dodge this one, Chief?
I'll just take it.
Okay. Ooh, and it's and minimum damage, so no damage through your vac suit. Your vac suit's gonna need repair. You wouldn't want to take this underwater. The radiation would definitely get to you. This next one, same thing, auto pistol. You taking this one as well?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna get through your suit. Okay.
It missed.
Oh, it was a miss. Never mind. Haha. That's a miss. I was looking at the one above. Yeah, never mind. That was a miss. Chief,
That would have hurt, though, yeah.
That one would have hurt. Yeah, that would have done 2 damage to you. Your turn, Chief.
Yeah, Chief will move up into the gap that the security officer just left
Perfect.
and fire off a stunner into that guy in the middle. Damn, close.
So close. Sir Dalamont.
Right. Thomas just gonna walk up a little bit. He's gonna start attacking that one.
There we go. With your stun stick. Nice. Alright, this one is going to shoot at Sir Dalamont with the auto pistol. Do you want to try to dodge this, Sir Dalamont?
Yes.
Let me see what your dodge is. Oh, your dodge is 0, so dodging won't help you. What you can do, you can dive for cover. Basically, you hit the deck. It'll give a -1 to them, but then that foregoes your entire action this round. Do you want to do that or stand fast and keep fighting?
Well, I think I'll keep fighting because I know we're outnumbered, and if I dive down, I'll be an easy target.
Thankfully, she misses. This one here is firing at Chief. Same thing with the auto pistol. Chief, are you going to take this hit or are you going to try and dodge?
Yeah, I'll take it. I'm really tempting fate here. Oh
Ooh,
yeah.
Yep. Okay, so you'll take some damage. You'll take 4 points that'll come out of your endurance first. So let me apply that, there we go, to your endurance. Chief, it's your turn. Oh. Sir
Good
Dalamont.
knowing you.
Yeah. Ellis, what are you doing while you see this fight going poorly for Chief and Sir Dalamont?
Um, have the security guards on the lower level, have they like gotten through that one set of doors yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. I might try going up the lift to try to help them, maybe.
Okay. As you get through and head up the lift, let me grab your token here. It's going to take you some time to get up there, but let me grab Ellis and let me shrink your token down.
If Ulysses heads out, if Ellis heads out, Ulysses might also follow.
That will shut off your potential ability to lock doors or turn off alarms, but that may be beside the point if we can't get past these guards here. Let me get Ulysses on the map as well. Sir Dalamont, you can go ahead and do your attack.
All right. Oh, good one.
Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay. Excellent. 5 damage to that one. That one. Perfect. And then let me add these two to the fight. And we'll get your initiative on here. Okay. This one will go first. This one is attacking Sir Dalamont. So Dalamont, do you want to dive for cover or take the hit? To dive for cover would mean you hit the deck and you lose your turn this round.
Does that affect if another person were to attack me?
Yes, they'll also get the penalty.
Okay. So, yeah, I think this time maybe we'll dive for cover.
Okay, that'll give them a -1. They miss. Ulysses, your turn. You come barreling out of the elevator.
Yeah, I think as they were going up the lift, Ulysses will look in his toolbox that has the stunner in it, and he'll reach past that and grab his laser pistol.
Oh, nice. Okay, you'll have, sight on that one. And now that Dalamont has hit the deck, he's dropped down. There's not going to be any penalty for shooting through someone. Go ahead and take your shot. Oh! Okay. Let me assign the damage. Let's see. Perfect. They are unconscious. So let me mark them. They're not dead, but they're unconscious. This last one is going to fire at Chief. Chief, do you try and dodge?
No.
Oh, and that's a hit. And you're going to take 2...
1.
Or 1, yeah. Well, let's see. So it's actually it's 12 plus 1, so it's 13, and your armor blocks.
Oh, that's true. He's 11. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be 2 damage to your endurance, which your endurance is now at 1, which is no big deal until you get your second stat down, and then you become unconscious. And once you get your third one down to 0, you become dead. Nice. Ellis, it's your turn.
Okay. I will go for my auto pistol.
Okay. Oh, that's a hit. Nice. Did that one there. Mark that. Apply the damage. Excellent. An awesome hit. Hits her right in the leg. Chief, you're up. Oh, there we go. How do you take her out, Chief?
He just kind of moves up, still to give them range for a shot, and then he just hits her, but kind of, you're not really meant to do it with a stun gun. He just shoots her in the face.
Nice. She drops down. We've got one that's unconscious. Do you do anything with them, or do you bypass them? Does someone want to do first aid on Chief? It can be done within the first minute and can restore some endurance points. I think Dalamont is our first aid person.
Definitely look at him.
Yeah, get a tourniquet.
And then the effect. Oh, yeah, so plus 3 points. So, Chief, I'm going to put 3 more points of endurance on there. That helped. That took you from a -2 to a -1. But you're still down a little bit. From here, you can hear the sounds of sabers clashing one against another coming from the throne room. As you make your way into the throne room, out here in the hallway, you see one of the security personnel, the one that left the room after Lady Ada. You see them lying on the ground, clutching their intestines. They've been disemboweled with a sword. Once you make it into the throne room, you see the High Prince Eilor Northgate. The High Prince is all that is wrong with his family line. He once dreamed of conquering the stars, but the death of his father by rebel terrorists broke him. After that, all he could see were assassins and spies. He banished the people closest to him, even his sister, and for 15 years he rotted in the psychological hell of being unable to trust anyone. With tears in her eyes, Lady Ada fights hand to hand against her brother. The two collide in a brilliant sword fight, clashing back and forth around the room until something may tip the scales in either direction. The High Prince screams at Chief as he walks in, saying that you're mad for supporting her. But he gives you one last chance to fix what you've done. He promises you amnesty, riches, and a place at his side, all you could want and more. And if you refuse, he will call you out as a filthy spy and saboteur sent by the Imperium to end the Foederate. Are you with me, or are you against me? He cries out to Chief and Ulysses and Dalamont and Ellis.
I stand against you, coward. I will not be bribed.
Then after I run my sister through, I'll finish you off as well. And there's a great clash of blades, one against another, sparks flying, and his blade sweeps down and slices her on the leg, and she drops to one knee. And he holds his sword high, as though he is ready to behead her, as she feebly holds her sword up above her. She turns and looks at you with pleading in her eyes.
Can I blast him in the chest?
You sure can. Oh,
Yeah, you can.
Nice. Let me hit him with some damage. Oh, that is in. Let's see, is that enough? 25. Nope. He staggers and drops his blade. And she reaches out with her good leg and kicks the blade, and it slides over towards Chief. He runs over to the throne to retrieve something from a small pouch beside the throne. I'll give each of you one more action before he retrieves it. What does Chief do?
Shoot at him, definitely.
Nice. Oh, I'm going to move Sir Dalamont over here too. Get Ulysses in here. Or Ellis in here. That is a hit as well. And this is stun damage.
Yeah. I don't think he brought his auto pistol with him.
Ooh. Okay. And Ulysses, you hit him again with your laser pistol. What does Dalamont and Ellis do?
Dalmont's gonna run and check on
Lady Ada.
Lady Ada.
Give me another first aid roll. Nice. That will heal her of 2 points. You get her leg bandaged. You give her a little stim pack. It will give her a boost. Ellis, what do you do?
I will shoot him as well.
Oh, that's going to be enough. Ellis, tell me how you take out High Prince Eilor Northgate.
Well, I come into the room and I see Lady Ada on the floor and all of my companions shooting at the prince. So I take out my auto pistol and I fire away and I take him out.
Blasted by laser pistol, by slug throwers, and by a stunner, you see him stagger under the blast and the blows, and he holds out his hands out to his sides as though to cry out this final act of betrayal by his sister whom he loved or professed to. And as he drops to his knees, his head bowed, Lady Ada runs him through with his own sword. After the coup has succeeded and securing the palace, she broadcasts her brother's death for all to see, including all of the security forces on their monitors throughout the palace, on all of the vid screens throughout Senlis. She proclaims herself the new High Prince. She turns and looks at the four of you and says, I should give a speech to promise all will be well, but I don't know what to say, what sort of leader I should be. What sort of Foederate would you see me forge? For this victory is just as much yours as it is mine.
Well, I think first and foremost a Foederate that pays its debts.
That will be done. And she says, from now on we will honor our obligations to one and all. We will all be accountable to one another. But I will be the most accountable, and I will see that the welfare of my people come first. And she looks at Ellis. What would you have me say or promise to the people of the Senlis Foederate?
What we originally set out to do, which was be honest with the people and be fair to them.
Honesty will be the new virtue of Senlis, not paranoia, not fear, not control. But freedom to live as you would, and to be honest to your true self. And what of you, Dalamont? What sort of federation would you have me establish?
Build one that's better for the people.
The
That
people,
helps them grow.
yes, the people and their growth will be first and foremost, not the palaces of the High Prince. We will see that
And
all receive favor under my rule.
know that the chapter's family does a lot of trade and could be a valuable partner
Yes,
in the
and
coming
we will
government.
seek trade amongst the others, not keeping it solely within the Federation and GD Co. And this man here, Sir Dalamont Chapters, will be lead in this new trade endeavor. And then she turns to Chief. Chief, I owe you a debt of gratitude. What sort of federation would you see me have?
Well, I think you said it better earlier than I could say it myself. You are an avatar of order, I'm sure, and justice will be done in this land, finally.
Justice, she cries out. Justice has been done here. And she points down to her brother, his own sword still run through his chest. I am sorry that you had to endure his rule. I myself was exiled, cast out by my own family, but I am here to ensure the prosperity of every member of the Senlis Foederate. She is forever grateful to you for the part that you have played in her life. She announces that you are all made Knights of Senlis, given land on each of the 3 planets, and you are promised that you will always have a home here. And of course, you get paid with a large bonus. And she will pay you, not only will she pay those expenses that you may have paid for items that you purchased, including the submersible, but she will give you all 700,000 credits.
Cool.
Skylark Tanlin is established as a trusted advisor, and he helps to smooth her transition to power. And he thanks each of you individually for the part that you played in seeing the right person placed upon the throne. I ask you to forgive me for questioning your ethics earlier, but I had to be sure we had the right people in the right spot at the right time. And we did. GD Co. is in your debt. And I hope that one day we might be in a position to repay the good things that you have done here. But know this, you are always welcome in the Senlis Foederate, and you are always welcome to call upon GD for any assistance that you might need in your endeavors. I fear that the Foederate is too small for the likes of you, and I wish you well wherever the jump drive takes you. And with that, we get some experience points. So for completing the adventure, you get 1 experience point, but then since this is the end of the campaign, you get an additional 2. So everybody will get 3 experience points. And to level up, there's a chart. I will text it to the chat, and I'll show you this little reference here. So to go from to pick up a skill level 0, it'll cost you 1 point. To go from 0 to 1 also cost you 1. To go from 1 to 2 will cost you 2. 2 to 3 will cost you 4, and etc. There's a chart that says gaining skills on there. And so I know that Ulysses has been hoarding points to put into piloting. So Ulysses, you should now have enough to go to piloting 3. And
yep, I already upgraded it. My spacecraft 3 now.
Perfect. So piloting spacecraft is 3, and then I think you've still got 2 more points left. So you're welcome to put those into anything. 2 points would be enough to go from level 1 to level 2. Or you could take some things that you're untrained in and train them, or go from a 0 to a 1. Do you know where you want to put those other points?
Yeah, I think I might do energy up to 2.
The energy weapons? The gun combat energy?
Yes.
Okay. What about Chief? Do you know where you want to put your points?
Yeah, I think Chief would probably also want to put some points into gun combat energy. I think if he gets 3, that he has enough, right?
So you've got...
He's to 1 to 2, so...
yeah, to go from 1 to 2 costs 2 points, so then you still have 1 left over.
So he could take a skill up to 0, or take one up to 1, right?
Yep, or take a 0 up to 1.
I think he would take stealth up to 1.
Oh, nice. I can mark that for you, up to 1. Yeah, the only one you can't take is Jack of all trades. Perfect.
That one, yeah, that one is pretty good.
And then, Sir Dalamont, do you know what you want to bump
Yeah.
up?
I think gonna get tactics to 0.
Now, when you take tactics, that gives you 0 in all of them. And then there's subspecialties as military and naval. Naval would be like starship combat. Military would be like what we did today, ground combat.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll cost you 1 point. So you have 2 more points.
Then we're gonna upgrade medic to 2.
Nice. That will be useful. And Ellis, I think you're the last one.
I was going to do computers to 2.
Nice.
And then maybe sensors to 1.
Okay. Perfect. And then in finance, hopefully you all put your 750,000 credits in there under cash. You also now have a knighthood in the Senlis Foederate. You've got lands on each of the 3 planets. You probably spend some time in the Foederate helping Lady Ada, or Gisa Northgate, as she is properly called, High Prince Gisa, to establish her rule. I would imagine at the end of this little mini campaign, you are back on Orsage with Lady Ada's adopted mother and the people who had a celebration for you. And they have another celebration for you at freeing them. This seemed to be the heart of the rebellion, was on Orsage. And as you go back there and spend time under that high oxygen atmosphere, you begin to wonder where the stars might take you next. And it is then that Ulysses, you get a call or a communication saying that the Scout Services has a ship for you. And this has been arranged by Director Skylark Tanlin of GD Co. You just need to go pick it up. It is on a system, on a planet called Walston. In the Walston system, it's in the Spinward Marches, just north of the Trojan Reach. Find your own way there, and you can claim the ship for your own. And Ulysses, what do you do or say when you hear this news? And this is how we close out this little part of the campaign.
I've got wind of a ship that I need to go claim up near Walston. It's a small system, not too far from here, up in the Trojan Reach. Any of you are welcome to come with me. I reckon that a ship like that would give us a means to head out and find some more work. And, nothing better than that, I think.
Anyone agree to go with?
Yeah, I got plans for the future, but I figure I owe you one. I'd be happy to help.
Well, glad to have you, Chief.
What about Sir Dalamont?
Will there be gambling?
Oh, there will most certainly be plenty of gambling, trust me.
Drinking? Partying? Some
Oh, there will
fun
be
spots?
plenty of room for all that.
I'm down.
And what about Ellis?
Well, my good captain has taken us this far, so why not stick with him?
And you
Well,
all...
I'm
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
glad to have you all with me. I guess we'll need to arrange transport, but I think that a good thing awaits us on Walston.
And you all raise a glass of that strange hallucinogenic beverage that they drink on Orsosh, toast one another's success, and drain your glasses as various folk from Orsosh come over to pull you away from the table for one of their dances. And you all begin to dance along with the villagers here to the music as a beautiful aurora shines overhead and the camera pans out and then turns out into the stars, and off in the distance all you see is a canopy of small diamonds on black velvet, wondering where Walston might be out there. And that's where we end the Hellworld Heists. You did fantastic. How was that for a heist adventure?
I
It
had
was,
fun.
Yeah.
Well, how
I
about
always
one-
feel like there's so much we can do.
Yeah, so that's what I
Like-
love about these is you just presented a situation, but then you could take it anywhere. Your plan is up to you. I think is really cool. How about compared to the other heists in the series? We did the train robbery, the base rescue, the convoy, the Senlis station, and then the palace.
I think the convoy was my favorite one. This one was great. I really enjoyed this one tonight, but I still remember that convoy. That was so fun with the plot twist of that one backing up. And
Yeah, the convoy was awesome. I think that and the train I think were my two favorite. This one is there's a lot of freedom with the way that you can approach it, depending on how you get in. Like, do you sneak in like you did? Do you try and bribe your way in? And so that's the big thing, is how do we get in there, and then how do we deal with security? And I think you did fantastic to deal with the security here. Ulysses, what did you think of the heist campaign in general, or of this particular one specifically?
I definitely enjoyed this specific heist. I think overall my favorite was, I would agree, the convoy was the most fun. This one was fun though, just because Yeah, again, we had a lot of freedom to come up with the plan, and I think it was a satisfying ending. I always like earning 700,000 credits.
Right.
So it was a good ending to the mini campaign.
Well, fuel is fuel's not cheap. You know, if you want to buy
Yeah.
fuel, unless you're skimming it from a gas giant, you got to pay for it.
Definitely, good to make some money for our ship on Walston.
'Cause, yeah, your ship will have monthly upkeep costs. I mean, toilet paper's not free, and all that other stuff you got to pay for. What about you, Ellis? Did you enjoy this one in particular, or which was your favorite of the 5 heists?
I think my favorite was the grav train.
The robbery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun with this one, and I like how in not just this one, but in every single one of the heist adventures, you have a lot of freedom with the direction and like the choices that you make for each one.
Yeah. And it's not like a min-max sort of game anyway. I mean, you're very squishy. Like, Chief was, one more good shot away from being unconscious. And I think Sir Dalamont has been unconscious before in one of the other missions, so it's definitely the game. It's not a high combat game, but it's definitely play it smart and you'll be okay kind of game. And you guys did great. Great problem solving and brainstorming, and just a ton of fun. I'm going to stop the recording here, and then let's chat for just a second about maybe going forward on this, and then I'll get this recording posted tonight.